Hey guys, All in Crypto here, and welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, for another YouTube video. I hope you're all having an amazing Saturday. We've got a lot to talk about in this video. We're going to be going over a number of different topics, and I'm going to be telling you why I believe the price of Cardano is going to do exceptionally well after we have smart contract capabilities go live on the Cardano network, which is the 12th of September. That is 1 day away. So this video is very, very fitting for the times, because there's a lot of people that are asking me, they're saying, are we going to sell off on the 12th of September? Are we going to have this buy the rumor, sell the news kind of situation take place? And I'm going to be asking and answering that question in this video, because even if, and there is absolutely, in fact, we're going to look at the charts and I'm going to tell you how this might look on the charts. There is absolutely the possibility of a bit of a sell-off tomorrow with that whole situation of buy the rumor, sell the news. But it's irrelevant. If you are investing in this technology, you will understand what the implementation of smart contracts on this network is going to mean. We're going to talk about it because I believe there is going to be a bit of a supply crunch. 70% of the overall supply of Cardano is staked. When we have DeFi capabilities on the Cardano network, there is going to be a lot of that remaining supply of Cardano. Yes, some of it will come from some of these stake pools, but there'll be a lot of the excess kind of liquid supply, if you will, that will be getting locked into these protocols. And I'm going to demonstrate that for you on this video with Ethereum. We're going to look at DeFi Summer and what that did for Ethereum's price. So we've got a lot to get through. Where I want to start very quickly, ladies and gentlemen, is with looking at the charts. Now, we're going to talk about Bitcoin because Bitcoin, of course, is the driver of value in the space. We set up this kind of falling wedge structure for you yesterday, guys, where we said, look, you could be doing a similar thing to what you did over here. And it does seem to be adhering to that. And there's a number. This is more of a kind of bottoming, basing kind of movement that the market is taking. If we look at kind of a spiller, what you have is you have a kind of initial wick and then you very quickly go below it. You don't kind of, can you see this? You have this wick here, but then you break below it. This was a basing wick because you come down and then you sort of create this kind of level of support from there. And you've had a similar thing take place today. We are in a bull market and I do anticipate and have continuously told you guys that we are going to see a recovery on the back end of this, and the famous words that everybody loves to hear is we're going to see more continuation to the upside. We're in a bull market, ladies and gentlemen. Now, very quickly, for those of you who aren't following me on Twitter, head over to @RealAllInCrypto. You'll get some timely, or certainly more timely, updates over there. We aren't going to get every single call that we make right. That would be simply impossible. This is an extremely volatile market, but we get significantly more calls right than we do wrong, and that's the key to being a good investor or a good trader. Yesterday, we said a potential double bottom is forming. Today, you are there, ladies and gentlemen. And what's next? I'll tell you how. Many people were saying, how did I know that? I was actually looking at the 15-minute chart. And you actually had this horizontal or ascending triangle structure set up where you have ascending support with a kind of horizontal resistance causing that squeeze, and you got that break to the upside. Remember, we were calling for one over here. You did get the break. There were some warning signs with just how quickly you kind of failed. It came back and then failed to break above it. That should have been a precursor. This is all a learning experience, ladies and gentlemen, but on the 15-minute, you set up a very similar structure. Good for me to show you this because this is kind of illustrating what we were anticipating over here and how these kind of structures do typically break to the upside. So what's next? Well, let's flip back to the 4-hourly. You're not out of the woods yet, ladies and gentlemen, because you need to take out these highs over here before we really see that continuation. And if there is going to be a sell-off tomorrow, you'll have your EMA come up. And it's quite typical after a break like this, after this EMA has kind of held you as resistance, you have that WW bottom, you come up and you come back to retest the EMA. There's plenty of examples of that I can show you guys. One just over here on a more immediate time frame. Can you see this? You come below it. You then break above it and come back to hold it as support. You sell below it, you break above it and come back to hold it as support before you see continuation. This is a very, can you see this? Come back to hold it. So expect that. Expect maybe a little bit of a consolidation, allowing your EMA to creep up before you see a bounce off it to the upside. But ultimately, I'm not anticipating a huge sell-off. I think many people would have dumped already in the whole kind of buy the rumor, sell the news kind of thing. That would have already taken place. It's when everybody's expecting something to go one way, typically it goes the other. And I don't know how many of you guys watched the XRP. There was a date set kind of like a Wall Street's bet thing for everyone to buy XRP on a certain date. I actually have a live stream of that, or a video of that. It literally tanked on the just before the hour that people were going to do it. So we'd have already seen the price tank. I reckon if it was going to do that, I think you might have a bit of a sell-off, and it's really just going to coincide with this EMA. But this video was really to tell you why the implementation of smart contracts at the end of the Gogan era is so significant, and that is really because you were going to see a DeFi space erupt from Cardano. This is going to mean, if I want to, and as somebody who uses Ethereum regularly, if I want to use the Ethereum ecosystem, in many cases I will need Ethereum to facilitate that. So I'll need gas fees, I'll need to pay a gas fee in association with using the DeFi. If I want to use Uniswap, I have to, it's very expensive, like $100, or it's been up to $200 in the past month. So you need the underlying asset. I also lock up, or have locked up, Ethereum in protocols. You're going to see a similar thing take place to Cardano, and with only 30% of the overall supply actually liquid, and yes, there is no kind of lockup period for Cardano, so we know that there's a bit of an argument there, which I understand, and I appreciate that being brought to the forefront of this argument. But it really shows a vote of confidence how many people are confident. They're very happy to leave their Cardano sat there staking. If there's only a 30% of the overall supply that's actually liquid, so to speak, there's a lot of that that's going to be going into the DeFi space, and we are going to see a kind of supply crunch. You know, you've got to remember all the other exchanges that trade, including the DEXs, by the way, that trade Cardano, are actually going to have to share that remaining supply. So that may be 10% or whatever that may be. So you are going to see a bit of a supply crunch. You're going to see a lot less sell pressure than we've currently had. And this is Ethereum, guys. And this is really where your DeFi summer took place, round about here. And if you look at what came after it, ladies and gents, Ethereum became infinitely more valuable due to the fact that it was getting significantly more used. And that's what I'm expecting for the Cardano ecosystem. So the 12th of September, if we do get a dump, it is really just a trader's kind of game that they've caused there. It's not a reflection of the project, because it's never been in such a strong position, and I've never been so bullish on a cryptocurrency. I am exceptionally bullish on Cardano. I believe in what they're trying to achieve. I'm already studying the Basho era, looking forward to the Cardano summit. I've got a lot of anticipation for this. We're going to be attending it, obviously virtually, not live. And this is going to be huge. They're going to talk about the Basho era, and the Basho era is where we see the scalability issue get tackled. Cardano is already significantly more scalable than Ethereum and Bitcoin, but you have coins like Solana who are a little bit more scalable, but there's this kind of triangle of trade-offs that take place where you have security, scalability, and decentralization. So they're all trying to work out and trade off one for the other, but with the implementation of the Basho era, which is what we're going to see after a lot the Alonzo or Gogan's completed, which is the current era that we're on, we're going to see scalability become tackled, and we're going to see the implementation perhaps next year of Hydra, which is going to essentially see Cardano go up to nearly 1 million transactions per second if all conditions are met. This is unspeakable, ladies and gentlemen, and that should become the superior blockchain. It'd be the blockchain to rule them all, if you will. So we're expecting great things to come with the implementation of smart contracts. If you understand what this means, and you understand what it did for the Ethereum network, which I've just tried to show you here, guys, Ethereum's price really went up because it was getting significantly more used. You will understand what essentially is coming, and you guys know we have a price prediction of around about $7.50 to $10. That's actually a very conservative price prediction. Many people find that hard to believe, but I've been in crypto for so long, guys. The unthinkable happens in these markets, and there's actually evidence to suggest it. Now, we did say, and we overlaid this schematic 1 million times for you, and we always come back to our Elliott wave theory because many people panic, and we say, look, there's a plan, there's a roadmap in play here. And until we see those key signs that we are no longer following that, there's no need to panic, guys. And that's where we are. And we said this was a very, very comparable kind of movement. You know, if you look, this was the start of your 3 wave. You're on the start of your 5th wave. You know, the start of your 1 wave started in a very similar way. You just didn't quite break your all-time highs. You were going to come back to your EMAs. You've indeed done that, and you've now, you get this kind of volatility. Can you see how Cardano moves in these kind of volatility sort of spikes before we get continuation and a bounce off that EMA? Can you see this over here as well, guys? This is how it rolls, and this is exactly what you're doing today, ladies and gentlemen. Expect a boom when this 50 and this 20 cross, or not cross, come together. Expect a significant bounce off that, much the same as you've seen it previously. things are looking good. And don't worry, if we do get a sell-off tomorrow, guys, and I don't think it's going to be of any kind of serious magnitude, that's just a fantastic buying opportunity. Much the same that I've came on here every single day and told you that this was indeed a buying opportunity. Can you see this? You have this big wick, and then you don't make any lower lows from that wick, and you kind of ascendingly base up until you get a pop. And that's where we're at. And you've broken this with significant, or certainly for me, significant momentum. What I would like to see is that retest of this EMA before we set up for more continuation. So that's really all I have for you in this video. Remember, the implementation of smart contracts beyond the hype is opening up the Cardano ecosystem for a whole new use case, multiple new use cases. We covered a number of projects in the DeFi space, a number of DEXs. We are going to cover Giro Wallet and Deadless. We're going to cover a number more projects as we move forwards. But I'm exceptionally excited for what's to come, and I think you guys should be as well. That's not financial advice. Bitcoin does look to be bottoming out. You can see this. You have this wick here, and then you kind of fail. You'd know in a downtrend. Can you see this, guys? You wick, and then you wick again, and you kind of continue in that manner of a fashion. You don't just have one wick and then fail to get below it. You kind of keep going within that trend. So things are looking bloody good, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you've all had a fantastic Saturday. That is really all I have for you in this video. Just a short and sweet update. Remember, guys, head over to my Twitter. You will get a lot more timely updates as they come out. We're not going to get everything right. It's impossible to get everything within this market right. There's nobody alive that can do that. But as long as you get more things right than you get wrong, that is the key to being a good trader and investor. So all I have for you in this video, guys, hodl and let this be a lesson to those of you who panic sold. It's not how you make money within these markets. I'm going to love and leave you on that note, guys. Hopefully you've enjoyed the video. If you have, a like is always appreciated. So is a comment. And I look forward to seeing you all in the next YouTube video. Thank you very much for watching, ladies and gentlemen.